hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Do y'all know what time it is? Do y'all really know what time it is? It's time to grab your popcorn, grab your best beverage. It's time to relax your ears. Wrestling season has returned, baby.
Ooh, yeah.
That's right. And it's time for your main event. Coming down the aisle, we have the one, Bobby Wrestles. And he is accompanied by the beautiful Mia Moore. This is the main event. Welcome to the All About Wrestling podcast.
It is Saturday, live from Philly, PA. Yo, I know y'all saw Elimination Chamber, right? I know you saw it. What were your thoughts? Now, last night, the big bro Tantalizing Tony did a live stream, all right? He did a live stream today. Folks, I was asleep. Perth, Australia, all right? Elimination Chamber live from Perth, Australia, 52,590 fans. But the issue that I had with it was, and it's not really an issue, but it premiered live. My time, it was 5 a.m. I was asleep. I'm a little early bird. I know. Some of yous were up watching it. I was asleep. I actually caught the show at 10 a.m. 10 a.m., I popped it on. I saw it. I thought it was okay. Now, you know me. Sometimes I'm a little bit critical when it comes to WWE. However, lately they've been on the money. I'm the objective podcaster, so I have to keep it real. Mr. Spades, what's going on? Pleasure having you. EW1, what's up, bro? Yo, let's get it. Thanks for stopping back. Listen, Tantalizing Tony, thank you, bro. He dropped a $10 super chat. Folks, you all know who Tantalizing Tony is, right? If you don't know, there it is. The Tantalizing one. Make sure you go to his YouTube channel. Check him out. He's all over the place doing a thing. That's my brother. All right? So, yeah. I'd like to get your thoughts. Mr. Spades, I'd like to get your thoughts. I know you probably saw it. The timing was a little bit difficult. I must admit. It was difficult for me, but I had to watch it. I had to see what was going to take place. There were no surprises. All right? Originally, I thought there was going to be some surprises. I know that some people alluded to the fact that there were going to be some surprises. There weren't any surprises. The matches had some great spots. And the fans were into it. I'm surprised that there were only 52,590 fans. I thought the stadium could have been utilized better. It's a very big stadium. EW1, thanks. Thanks, bro. EW1, super chat. Thank you so much, bro. I wonder if I can pop this on screen. What's going on here? I'm having issues popping this. There we go. There it is. There it is. My God. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. So I can't pop Tony's up, but Tony put up a $10 super chat. I can't get it up here. Probably because it happened before. He sent the super chat before the live stream. All right? So we appreciate you. That's family right there. Mr. Spades says it was very predictable, but how they handled some of the matches was well done. Yeah, there were no championship changes. All right? No titles changed hands. Which I didn't expect it to. It would have been a surprise. Surprise factor would have been great if championships did change hands, but they did not. EW1, I worked 5 to 5, but watched it. It was a smooth event. Okay. Very, very fair comment, fair perspective, right? I think it was smooth. Tony has blessed my life a few times. He's a real one. EW1, if you can, if you have time, sometime today, please shoot me a banner. All right, email us because we want to promote you as well. Shoot us a banner, a logo, allaboutwrestling@gmail.com. All right, send it to us so we can pop you up there as well. All right, that's what we do. We look out for each other and we promote each other. EW1 right there. All right, so I have a total of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 matches. Am I correct? Plus the pre-show match, the Kabuki Warriors versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, if I'm correct. And of course, we had, during intermission, or so-called intermission, we had the Grayson Waller effect. What are your thoughts in terms of this segment? I thought it was pretty interesting. You had Cody out there, you had Seth Rollins out there, A-Town Down, Theory himself, and then Grayson Waller, the hometown hero, had to come out. I like how they created the heel effect with Austin Theory, and then they bring out the hometown hero because we all know back in the States, they're all heels, right? Him and Austin Theory, they're heels. Grayson Waller, Austin Theory. But you had to create a separation between the two. So you bring out Austin Theory, he's the heel, and then you bring out the hometown hero, and nothing can go wrong, all right? Folks, I have a book here, and during live streams, I'm going to refer to it because I like playing trivia. And I'll pop a question out, I'll pin it to the live chat, and I'll see who can answer it first. I know this is the information age. I know people have Google. But we can tell, depending on the speed, how quick you reply, you know, if you knew it, or if you needed time to research it. Because a lot of these things that I have here, some of them are very difficult. Some are, in fact, facts that I did not know. All right. Let's see. I'll throw one out right now before we get into these perspectives. All right. Let's see. Wow, these are hard. These are difficult, guys. All right. Here's one. Here's one. This is for my my legacy fans, folks in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. You know who you are. All right. This individual was an esteemed manager, legendary manager with the signature phrase, "Oh yes." That's all I can say because you're gonna figure it out. But who was that? Legendary manager, managed a legendary wrestler. Bone Breaking Action came to YouTube to find the segment, but now I'm here. Thanks, bro. Thanks for stopping in. All right. Let's see who can answer that. And once you know who it is, you'll kind of understand the phrase. I couldn't say it exactly the way that this individual says it, because then you'll know right away. All right. We're talking about Elimination Chamber. Wow, Mr. Spades. Mr. Spades. Leave it to Mr. Spades. Paul freaking Bearer. You got it. It's Paul Bearer. Good job, Mr. Spades. That's my guy. That's Mind of AK. All right. Make sure you check out Mind of AK on YouTube. All right. As well as social media. He's doing a thing. He creates custom sculptures. He's a genius. Make sure you check him out. And I need a banner, Mr. Spades, because the one I had, I don't know where it is. I cannot locate it. Yes, Bone Breaking Action, Paul Bearer. All right. All right, so let's talk about this. Elimination Chamber live from Perth, Australia. The pre-match. Kabuki Warriors versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Very fitting because Indy Hartwell, another hometown hero, she did her thing. I'm pretty sure it felt great to her to be in such of a native mass audience cheering your name It's no telling how long it's been since she's been home. Who's to say? She's a celebrity. She might have a private jet. I don't know. But to watch it and to experience it on pay-per-view level, outstanding. Outstanding. Bone-breaking action. You can't say it. I can't spell it. You can't say it. I can't spell it. EW1. Oh, yes, my Undertaker. LOL. Yeah, so this match, I gave it a 6.5. And I know it sounds a little bit low, but in terms of, I guess, matchmaking, we're talking about the tag team championships, all right? Tag team championship match, tag team titles up for grabs. Indy Hartwell did get a standing ovation at the end. That was as expected. Solid match overall, but in my opinion, it wasn't that exciting. I'm pretty sure you all have your own opinions with respect to this, which makes us true wrestling fans, because nobody's opinion is exactly the same. But I think it was a solid match. Of course, the Kabuki Warriors, they retained. What's next for the Kabuki Warriors? We do know, formerly of Damage Control, or who's to say that they don't carry the Damage Control flag moving forward with Belly leaving the group? Spoiler alert, and some of you might feel the same way. The whole situation, all right, with Bailey, I think Bailey's going to get turned on. Tantalizing Tony, he's here. Overall premium live event was solid. Okay. Folks in the chat, if you can, shout a number out. Scale of 1 to 10, the overall premium live event as a whole. How do you score it? 1 through 10. Let's go. What are your scores? I'll put mine in there now. Overall, the whole event, not just one match, looking at things from a holistic perspective. Scale of 1 to 10. Elimination Chamber, go. Scale of 1 to 10. Ooh, come on, Tony. 10? Gave it a 10. A 10. A 10 means perfect. A 10 means perfect. All right. Now, I'm being objective here. I gave it an 8. I'm giving it an 8. I mean, I don't think it was perfect. There were some hiccups, right? There were no surprises, because for me, perfection would be a surprise. At least one surprise to just make us say, oh, all right, and just keep us on the edge of our seats. Mr. Spades, Dakota Kai versus Bailey. Yes, Dakota Kai, I'm thinking she's going to turn on Bailey. EW1, 9.7 out of 10. Wow, you guys are really ranking this high. 9.7. Okay. Mr. Spades, I give it a 7.5. Okay, there we go. All right, so we went from 10, the range, 10, 7.5. So the range, a range of what? 2.5 points, right? So we're on the same page here, all right? The average is around somewhat, where it should be. Tony says, I know it sounds crazy, but I loved it. And bro, I know you were tired. You were extremely tired. You were up all night in early hours of the morning. I'm surprised you're up now, but I appreciate it because you're here. All right. He says, I think everyone told the story that they were out to tell. Great point. We are on the road to WrestleMania. We are 42 nights away. 42 nights away from WrestleMania in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Women's Elimination Chamber match. Now, I score all of these separately, guys. And you're not going to like my score. Mr. Spades, I'll put it this way. If I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch this, and this is what I got, it would be a 5. Wow. All right, so the Women's Elimination Chamber match, I gave it an 8. I feel bad. There were some great spots in the women's match. I do believe the women's Elimination Chamber match was the best match because the spots were crazy. That, I put that against Rhea match, the Rhea and Nia Jax match, which was the main event. The spots were crazy in the women's Elimination Chamber match. But in terms of animation, the chemistry, it wasn't seamless, right? I am a very critical critic. It wasn't seamless. It seemed as if things were rehearsed. There was a little bit of a misstep between certain sequences. The big spots that I liked, all right, Tiffany Stratton, when she did the swanton off the top of the pod, amazing. There was also a spot where Bianca Belair, she countered a slingshot suplex. Raquel Rodriguez was going to slingshot her off the rope and do a suplex. She countered it into a DDT on a cage floor. But then there was a situation in which I believe Becky Lynch jumped off the top of the pod and she landed on her feet. It was supposed to be like a dive or some type of crossbody. She ended up coming down vertically and it was kind of weird looking. I don't know. I'm very anal about certain things. I gave it an 8. Becky Lynch wins. All right, so we're going to see Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley for the World Championship, the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. What are your thoughts? If you had any input, any say on how WrestleMania is going to be booked, who do you think the best opponent is for Rhea Ripley? In my opinion, I would say Bianca. Bianca was astounding in that match. I think Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley would be a greater match than Becky. Becky, for whatever reason, she just continues to, be pushed out in front. Not that there's nothing wrong with it, but in terms of athleticism, agility, fitness, Bianca Belair is just on a whole nother level. Let's be real here. Mr. Spades, I'll say this. Tiffany Stratton being so new looked like an MVP. She did. This is why the Performance Center is important. She's going to be a household name in a year. Very good point. And Mr. Spades, to your point, I will say I'm very excited to see what happens with Jade Cargill. Because remember, she came in, she was green in AEW. She came in, and she's had so much time in the Performance Center. Watch out. I'm very interested in seeing the progression and how she will fare moving forward after having that sort of training as opposed to what she was used to. Because I'm pretty sure they had to break down a lot of what she learned and then build her back up. I'm excited. When will we see her? Will we see her as a surprise at WrestleMania? Perhaps. I believe that was the last pay-per-view, the last premium live event until WrestleMania 40. And we still haven't seen her. In fact, we thought we were going to have a decision as to where she would go. And it was Braun Breaker who signed to SmackDown. EW1, I'd rather see Bianca versus Ripley. I'm with you. Becky seems to be a shell of her old self. What happened with her? When she first created the man after getting her nose broke by Nia, I felt as if she was the reincarnate woman version of Stone Cold. Just the energy, right? She wasn't a heel. She wasn't a face. She was that mystery character that you just wanted to cheer for. She was badass. So Becky Lynch wins. She's on her way to WrestleMania. The second match, I didn't really care for that much in the beginning. But I will say, over time, it picked up. And to their credit, New Catch Republic, outstanding. I think they bring an edge a different style to the sport of wrestling that we haven't seen in a very long time. Very unorthodox, and they deliver. Before we move forward, what's your scores for the Women's Elimination Chamber match? I told you I gave it an 8. What do you guys think? Mr. Spades, I think I read a rumor that they want Bianca versus Stratton, or if she's ready, Bianca versus Cargill. Versus Kabuki Warriors. Okay, so a tag match, Bianca and Cargill. I think that would be great for Cargill because I don't think it would be a smart idea to throw Cargill out at WrestleMania. Perhaps make an appearance or a tag. That would be great for her. EW1, since they had the baby, it's like she's afraid to get hurt. Great point. She's holding back. Great point. Yes, it's almost as if she missed a step, or perhaps it's intentional, right? Something's not the same with Becky Lynch. What are your scores? I gave it an 8. So Becky Lynch wins. You know, and it's crazy because as fans, we catch things. And I wonder, of course, her name is her name. She's Becky Lynch. She's the man, right? But lately, WWE has been making decisions based off of fan emotion, right? Look at the whole Cody story. You know, they tried to stuff The Rock down our throats. We weren't having that. And now Cody's back in the picture. So my question is, does the upper echelon in WWE see that, but they continue to push her? Or are we going to see another swerve, if you will, another detour? Who knows? There's a lot of time between now and the first week of April. There's a lot that can change. All right, so the New Catch Republic versus Judgment Day. Judgment Day, they retained the tag titles, of course. I didn't see them losing at all. Great match. Like I said earlier, I wasn't in it initially, but after watching New Catch Republic and the chemistry, they have chemistry. It was great. It was great. It was, I was locked in, but I do give it a 7.5. I do think that they should continue this with these teams, with these individuals. Continue it. Make it a longer story because they work well together. I gave it a 7.5. And then we had the Grayson Waller effect. Now, this was pretty interesting. This was interesting because I didn't know what was going to happen. Maybe you did. I didn't know that after hearing Seth Rollins come out, I didn't know Cody was going to be there. Cody came out. And it seems to be a happy fest between these two. And I like it because in the beginning, I kind of felt like Seth Rollins was getting the shaft, you know, getting played as the second tier champion, right? But I'm glad that somehow they were able to combine these wrestlers into the same story. All right. Now, Seth Rollins practically became a face right before our eyes. And a lot of people has not even alluded to the fact that this has happened. Because Seth Rollins was a heel and he slowly became a face. And he slowly aligned himself with Cody Rhodes. They did allude to the fact that there's going to be, or there could be, a tag match because Cody announced he wants to fight The Rock. Seth tells Cody that he won't have to fight alone. So what does that mean? Some people have alluded to the potentiality of a tag match between The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody and Seth. Could we see that? It's a possibility. But Cody wants to fight The Rock. Or are we going to see Cody versus The Rock? I don't know. But I will tell you that a lot can happen. There's so much room for opportunity here. There's so many ways that this can go. So I'm very interested. Of course, when they started saying The Rock's catchphrases, I thought he was going to pop out, but he didn't. They're chilling, they're relaxing. You know, why do they have to? Okay. I thought that was a great overall segment. And I'm interested to see what happens. All right, so I do have some highlights, though. I have some highlights that I do want to talk about. What stood out? What stood out at this main event? Me, I took notes. I wrote some things down, and there you see them, okay? First, the fact that Rhea and Nia main evented the event. I thought it was swell. Rhea Ripley is bigger than we think. Not just here in the States, worldwide. Of course, that was her hometown, but she's loved everywhere. Nia Jax did an outstanding job. Kudos to her. I will admit, for a long time, I thought Nia was afraid to get dirty, afraid to take certain spots. She went all out. I think she understood her role. You're in the main event. You have to give the fans what they want to see. The spots were amazing. They were amazing. We'll get into that a little bit later, but the fact that there has been some development and some progression with Nia Jax, there were some spots that looked a little bit stiff, but I just think that's just her. That's just Nia's style. She's big. If you want to be in there with her, you got to be able to take it. It's Nia Jax, and I agree. I agree. One thing that I did not like, and perhaps you could agree with me, if not, that's respectable, the fact that Nia did her finishing move and Rhea kicked out. We'll talk about that later. Mr. Spades, yes, that was Nia's best match in ages. Nia Jax did the thing. She did the thing. And that's why I said, arguably, between that main event match and the Women's Elimination Chamber match, I think those two were the best matches. I'm just saying. I have to give credit to Nia Jax and the woman doing their thing. And think about it. The woman opened the show and the woman closed the show. That's amazing. You know, if we did not take note of that or understand that's pretty good. That's big business. All right. Of course, I alluded to this earlier. The spots in the women's chamber match, amazing. Amazing. Everybody knew that they were on a big stage. We're on the road to WrestleMania. We got to perform. You know, we got to let everyone know that we're willing to do what needs to be done to show you that we're the best in the world. No pun intended. CM Punk, I know you're watching. But it was outstanding. It was amazing. I applaud them. The woman in WWE, words can't explain how great they are. The chemistry, they know each other. It's great. It's great. So kudos to you. And you get an applause. And lastly, I want to get your opinion on something. The lighting. I'm pretty sure you noticed, and I can almost try to guess exactly what took place or what happened to create this situation. The lighting in the cell, or not the cell, the Elimination Chamber. There was a shadow almost in the center of the ring. If the wrestler stood there, there was a shadow in which part of their head was cast under the shadow. Several times there was an aerial view which pointed downward, and you saw at the very top of the chamber there was a WWE logo, a transparent logo, looks like it was blue, on top of the cell. Could it be that that was a tent creating a shadow? But it looked very bad on TV. Almost to the point where I was almost trying to squint to see, like, all right, what? I can't see past the shadow. So the bad lighting, I'm pretty sure that's something that will be changed. I'm pretty sure they know about it. That's how WWE, they pay attention. I'm pretty sure they have some type of committee some type of after action report in which they go back and say, all right, what was good, what was bad, what can we fix for next time? But the lighting, I did notice it, and that's what stood out. Okay, so that's what stood out to me. I'm pretty sure you all have some things that stood out to you, and don't be shy. If you do wish, you can share them in the comments. All right, before we move on, I do want to get back to another trivia question. I'm gonna ask you guys. Pretty good book, by the way. This was a gift. And a lot of the information in here is really good information. Most of what I didn't really know, and it's surprising. It's called the WWE Superstar Handbook. Essential facts and stats on more than 300 WWE superstars. And no, they are not a sponsor, and I do not make a commission off of this, but I think it's a pretty good read. All right, so let's see here. What's the next trivia question I'm going to ask you? Here we go. Speaking of Australia, this tag team, they grew up in Sydney, Australia, together. They were best friends. They're a former WWE tag team. They had rivals, the Kabuki Warriors, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, and they won the women's tag team championships together. Can you name them? Think back. I haven't seen them in a while, but I thought they were great in terms of presentation on the camera, the comic factor. They were awesome and looked great. To the viewers, if you want to get your banner shout out, please email us. allaboutwrestlingnow@gmail.com. allaboutwrestlingnow@gmail.com. EW1, you send that to us, we got you. We got you. All right. The men's chamber match. The men's chamber match. How'd you like it? I scored it an 8. An 8, yes. There was a bit of a surprise, of course. The whole situation with AJ Styles popping up, taking out LA Knight with a chair. He took him out. That was a surprise. It was also a way for the company to keep AJ Styles relevant. I thought it was great. Logan Paul continues to live up to the fact that he is one of the most hated heels in wrestling. He's great. Guys, stand by. I'm stand by. I'll be right back after the short break. Stand by. All right, guys. Sorry about that. So I gave the men's chamber an 8. Logan Paul took out Randy Orton with brass knucks. A traditionalist. The brass knucks, one of the oldest weapons in wrestling history. Bow! Randy Orton's gone. Orton also played to the fact that he had a bad back. I know you saw it. He was reeking in pain. There was no way I believed Orton was going to win this match. Although he had a lot of people fooled when he hit McIntyre with the RKO out of nowhere, and lo and behold, Logan Paul came to save the day. McIntyre capitalized off of this and pinned Randy Orton 1, 2, 3. So for WrestleMania, we're going to see McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the World Championship. What are your thoughts? I saw this match coming a long time ago. McIntyre had to stay relevant. McIntyre deserves it. He's great. He's great in terms of his heel play, in terms of his physique, in terms of his microphone skills. He deserves it. And I think it's going to be a great match. Seth Rollins did allude to the fact that he is nearing 100%. So we have the potential to have a great match, and I'm excited about that. But again, I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8. It just didn't do that much for me. And then we move on to our main event. So for our main event, we saw Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Pretty impressive. And it's gotten my highest score, 8.5. The simple fact that Nia Jax was impressive. Nia, you shocked me. You made me believe that you want this. You're back. And the spots you were doing, you showed aggression. You showed domination, as you should. And you protected, yes, I'll say it again, you protected our world champ. Great chemistry together. Could it be because, I don't know, they say you were from Australia or you live in Australia and Rhea's from Australia? I don't know. But it was a great match. You both were pretty impressive. Nia, you did a great job. Great job. Great spots. Your Samoan drop, impeccable. Impeccable. Your Samoan drop is impeccable. So I give you that. Applause. Nia Jax, I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. I'm proud of you because you don't care about the naysayers. Yes, you came back and you proved to everyone that you can perform at the highest level. Rhea Ripley, I don't have to prop you up. We all know who you are. The best of the best. The best of the best. That's why you're the world champion. And so much so that you've brought so much prestige to that world championship. Who's to say that the world championship, the women's world championship, is not the better of the two championships? Because you wear it. Great match. But I gave it an 8.5. Just because perfection to me means perfection. I have to keep it real. The fact, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why this wasn't a 10 for me. And perhaps you'll understand. Give me a second. You cannot give a pro wrestler, a massive pro wrestler, Yokozuna's finishing move and have someone kick out of it. That makes absolutely no sense. Of course, we're talking about Rhea Ripley here, right? But still, no one has ever kicked out of Yokozuna's finishing move. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But to my knowledge and from my experience, and if there's a match and I didn't see it, that's another thing. But I do not recall anyone kicking out of Yokozuna's finishing move. It never happened. That's the end all be all. I would have respected it more if Rhea Ripley moved out of the way. But that does something. The fact that she kicked out of that move, doesn't that mean that that move is not as effective as it is, or as it should be? Doesn't that mean that somebody else can kick out of that? I mean, come on, let's be realistic here. No one should kick out of Nia Jax's finishing move. It's like an unwritten rule. It's like a law. It's like, you know how we have man law? That's wrestling law. You don't kick out of that move. That's almost as crazy as someone kicking out of the stunner. You just don't. So I gave that an 8.5. Of course, Rhea Ripley retains her Women's World Championship. We're going to see Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 40. Live here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, one thing I was really surprised about was the attendance. So, let me see something here. I want to do a little bit of live research with you. Because was there an indoor policy that they could not utilize the majority or capacity of the stadium? They only had 52,590. Now, I'm thinking that that's only because of ticket sales. And the reason I'm so pressed about this situation is because capacity for Lincoln Financial Field, where WrestleMania 40 is going to be here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, capacity is 67,594. That's more than the fans that were at Perth, Australia. And they had fans on the floor. Now, capacity at Lincoln Financial Field, the Eagle Stadium, is 67,000, right? Let's just say 67.5. That's without floor seating. They're going to have floor seating. What happened here? What happened here? Am I wrong? Is the stadium not that big? I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure. But I don't know what happened. I can see 70,000, at least 70,000 for WrestleMania 40, which to my calculations would be close to 20,000 more than there were at Perth, Australia. And what appears to be a smaller stadium, but I don't know. I mean, so overall, what did I see? An 8? Overall, I think a 8, a score of an 8 for Elimination Chamber because of all of those things. See, I am someone who takes into account the totality of the circumstances, not just the matches, but the attendance, what happens in the matches in terms of people kicking out of people's finishing moves, botches, the flow in terms of, chemistry. A match, if I enjoy a match, it's because it was seamless. It was as if the wrestlers did it in their sleep. That's perfection to me. So a 10 is a 10, right? And I'm objective. There's no feeling involved here. The truth is the truth. Okay, I do have feelings, but in being objective, I take them and I stuff them down. All right? So I'm glad you guys stopped in. This has been a review of Elimination Chamber. Please make sure you stop in throughout the week. We're going to be back with some shows. How do you like the new set here? The new elements, the new border with our wrestling props. Meow Moore, you see her pink wrestling boots and my black wrestling boots. Folks, make sure you keep it locked. Thanks for stopping in. Bone Breaking Action, EW1, Tantalizing Tony, Mr. Spades. We appreciate you all. We love you all. We are on the road. We're on the official road to WrestleMania live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Please keep it locked. Also, make sure you check out our affiliates. Tantalizing Tony, doing the thing. Make sure you check him out. As well as the Nice Guy Andy podcast. And please, folks, to my viewers, if you have a banner, please email it to us. allaboutwrestlingnow@gmail.com, because We spread the love. That's what we do. Everyone should know about your product. All right, so thanks for stopping in, guys, and we'll see you soon.